Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a really fun neon pink, really over the top, think 80s neon pink, a lot of blush, bright lips, bright eyes. Some of you might find it wearable, some of you might not. I would totally wear this, it's my kind of thing. So that's what we're going to be doing. I have a bunch of stuff here. So we're going to get started. Before we do, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Love having you here. So let's get into this. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of white foundation. This is the LA Girl Pro coverage and it is white. And I'm going to put that on my eyelids just so the bright pink eyeshadow really pops. So I'm going to take just a little bit on my hand and I'm going to take I use a dry sponge, that's what I prefer. And we're just going to pick up a little bit. I'm going to try and do this without covering up the camera, but I'm sorry if I do. And we're just going to put that down. I'm going to finish my finger just so I can really get in there. Now we got a base down, and I'm going to set it with whatever light color eyeshadow I have in these palettes. So I think I'm going to go into this palette, a Carity, and just on really any brush, that one's too big, I'm going to set the foundation because I want my eyeshadow to blend, and if you don't set it, your eyeshadow is going to stick a little more, so you'll get more intense pigment, but it's hard to blend. I'm using my mirror over here. And with using such bright neon shades, I really want them to blend out well, so I'm okay with working a little harder to get more intense color. I just don't want it to stick and be really patchy. So the star of the show is this little neon hot pink pigment that I got off Amazon, and I got this while I was quarantined with COVID because we decided to watch Skin Wars, and I was like, I need to buy some of these things. So that's where it is. I got it off Amazon. You just type in like neon eyeshadow or neon pigments and they'll come up. It comes in a multi-pack. I have all the other colors over there. So this is what we're going to do. This is what I think we're going to do. I have not attempted this. I haven't practiced this look, so we're just gonna have a good time. So I'm gonna find like a nice softer pink to use kind of as my transition shade, and I'm kind of looking through my palettes here and seeing what I have that I think is gonna work, and I'm not really seeing anything I love, so you know what, when in Rome. So we're just gonna start with the neon pigment, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take what's in the top here because pigment goes a long way and it's already very intense, so you want to work in small amounts. So I'm gonna take that on a bigger brush. Not the biggest brush, but actually let's use a smaller brush so we don't get out of control. So I'm just using this regular eyeshadow brush. I got it off Amazon. It's really cute. So I'm going to take just what's in the cap, pick up a little bit of it. We're still going to tap off the excess. And we're going to use this to kind of start figuring out our shape. So I'm just going to pop it, stamp it on into the shape that I kind of want. So I'm not really concerned about how bright it is right now because we're going to go back and add more. So I'm just going to start a little bit above my crease, which is how I like to do it, and start just softly putting this on to kind of create a shape. So we're not using a bunch of colors, it's largely just going to be this neon one. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on the entire shape that I want to create, and then we'll go back in with another brush and kind of intensify it. So I'm going to kind of do like this winged out, really intense shape. which honestly is the shape that works really well for me and my eye. You can do whatever shape works for you. And don't worry about these edges because we're going to go back and blend that in a little bit. So we're going to start on one eye, just kind of figuring out how we want it. And then when I tap back into the pigment, we'll do the same shape on the other eye. So let's just get this where we want it. Again, I'm using a mirror over here. I'm sorry, but I have to be able to see what I'm doing. And every time I hold this one up, it's in your face, so you can't see anything. So we're going to take the same shape and we're going to do it on the other side. Still using just what was in the lid. A little intense there, that's alright. Put that powder down under the shadow and on top of the white. It's going to be easy to blend out, so I'm not super concerned. So you kind of have to tinker with it to get them to be close on the same side. And generally speaking, for me, I'm not striving for perfection. I just want them mostly similar. Okay, so we're going to work and put a little more pigment on the outer corner of this eye to kind of get it to match that one over there. And I'm still just using the same brush. I'm going to switch brushes in a few minutes when I'm ready to actually work on intensifying. So I'm leaving blank space in the middle because I'm going to go in with the glitter glue later and put in some glitter. You can do that if you want. You can leave the space open. You could put in a nice just regular pink shimmer, call it a day. You could put in a pretty matte pink and it's all going to work just the same. Okay, so I'm going to switch brushes and I think I want to use a nice little flat brush so I can keep the shape on the corner of my eyes the way I want it, and I prefer to be able to pack on and then shape with a nice little flat brush right here. This one's got kind of an angle on it. Where's my other one? I have a flat one. There it is. So we're gonna use a brush shaped like, whoops, shaped like this. You guys, I leave most of my mistakes in because nobody's perfect and I don't want to portray the image that I get everything right on the first time. So I just dumped it all over myself. Cool. So what we're going to do is this time we're actually going to tap into our little pot very gently and tap the excess into the lid. So now we're going to start working on the shape of those outer corners. I'm sorry, I'm going to use my little mirror because I need to be up close. So what I'm going to do is gently stamp it right here on this outer corner, making sure I'm keeping the shape that I want right here, and that's why I like a flat brush for this particular step. I do it essentially no matter what colors I'm working with because I just like the ability to keep a really nice straight line. So you see how it kept our nice straight line, and then we'll go back with our fluffy brush and start blending that little bit of an edge away, and then a little bit we're going to go in with a smaller brush and really work in that crease, and then we'll blend out the top. So don't worry about it yet. We're still doing good. You're doing great if you're following along. But I want to leave the corner fairly intense, so that's what we're going. This is really pink, but it's coming off very corally on my monitor, so it is what it is. The same thing. Working on the shape of that outer corner. Very nice flat brush. And then I'm looking on the monitor to see if we're at least mostly even. Mine aren't always even, so it's okay if yours aren't. As long as it's something you can deal with, that you're happy with, you're fine. It's fine. It's just makeup. It's fine. So we're going to take our first brush and blend out that little edge right there. But we're not blending away what's like on the lid right here because we're going to keep that there until we put glitter, and then we'll go over the edges with more pink. So in this case, more is more. And I'm going to blot this edge just a little bit more on this side. So that's what I'm going to do. Actually, I'll probably do it on both because I kind of like the more angled, more blown out look, especially for something like this. So that's where we are. So I'm going to find kind of like a little pencil brush. So I have this one right here. So this is what I'm going to use to lay down the bright pink right in the crease, and then we're going to blend up from there. I'm just cleaning my brushes. Got a different color eyeshadow. So still just taking what we tapped off in the lid, and we're going to put it on the brush, and now we're going to go right in that crease. So I go just above my natural crease so you can still see it. So that's what I'm going to do, and then blend it upwards. You work whatever works for your eyelid. So we're going to do that. So I'm going right into my crease. And this one does take a little building because you're not picking up as much on a small brush like this. So we're going to pop it in. And then we're going to take the first brush and blend it upward. I think I might actually just put more on this brush and do a little more on the top because I want a little more bam. Tap excess. Right, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Right into crease. So since this is monochromatic, it doesn't have to be super precise. Like if you're doing like just a smoky eye and you're using 2 or 3 colors, you're going to be a little more careful about your blending, but this is a very monochromatic look. Everything is pink. There's no browns or blacks or dark pinks or anything else going into it. It's just this neon pink, so you kind of can just like create whatever you want, and then when we go in with that glitter, it's going to clean up the lid space, so you don't have to worry too much about that. And then in a little bit, we're going to take a light, almost probably the same color we set our lid with, and we're going to go over these top edges so they're a little cleaner. So I'm going to skip the pencil brush this time around because I just want more pigment. And try and make sure they're even. So we're just going to build that up until we're happy with it. I'm using my monitor because it's lit a little bit better. But if I turn the lights out on my mirror, I have like this cast on half my face and it looks really strange. So take your time with neons because they're notoriously patchy. Even a pigment, a pressed pigment, a neon eyeshadow, they're all going to be a little patchy. So you got to kind of build them up. And I'm going to bring this a little bit higher because that's what I want to do. You can keep yours wherever you want. But I like to fill up pretty much all of my space, and I'm doing that after the brush is largely clean, so we're getting more of a faded look and kind of dealing with that harsh edge on its own. Okay, so we're going to put that aside for a few minutes, and we're going to go back with the white shade from this palette and find a clean brush because we don't want any powder, any neon powder. So I'm just going to use a really big brush. I'm going to look over here in my mirror and just go over that top edge. And you shouldn't need much because we brought the excess from our brush up into it. So it should be pretty easy just to kind of buff out that edge to your liking. Everybody likes something a little different. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't, depending on what I want. And you guys, I put on brows today for you. And my eyebrows definitely are not twins. They are very much sisters, relatives of some kind, so they don't always match. So now I think what I want to do, I'm pretty happy with the shape. So I'm going to take some NYX glitter glue on this flat brush. I have 2 of them, one for glue, one for glitter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe this pink off my hand. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, and we're going to lay it down. You won't need as much as you think. We're going to lay glitter glue down, And we're going to put a glitter, so that's why I said it didn't really matter if it gets a little messy through here, because we're going to cover it up. It won't matter anyway. So I got the glue right there on the back of my hand, just a little. I probably won't even use that much, but we'll see. You can always add more, but you can't put it back. So we're going to start just laying it down, and you're going to lay it down pretty much everywhere you want glitter. You don't need tons of it. I'm a more is better kind of girl though. I'm sorry if my mirror's in your way, but I gotta get up close. And I like to go over the edge just a little bit and bring it up right there. And so I like to do one eye at a time. I don't like to go and put my glue down on both sides because I feel like it's gonna dry too fast. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into this Starry palette. I got this on Amazon, and it's all glitters. Look how pretty it is. And it has a mirror, which I really like. So I'm going to go in, and I think this is a hot pink shade. Let me make sure it's not like a red. So this is chunky glitter, but it does look to be the right color. So that's why you want a glitter glue, is because this is not a pressed glitter. This is fairly loose. So we're going to take that hot pink shade, which I use a lot. I'm going to load it on this brush. I'm just going to use the same mirror, and I'm going to start working that into my glitter glue. I use this palette a lot. It's my favorite at Christmas because I like the green and red shades in it. And it does take a little building up, so just be patient. Work in small sections and just really pack it in. So I'm going to get just a little more fresh glue because I'm afraid this dried because I had to stop. And we're going to do the same thing, other eye. I think I didn't use enough glue on the other side, so we're going to go a little ham on this side. Drop some. Got like one speck of green glitter from another pan. And we'll brush away the fallout in a minute. Let's see if there's any glue left on this brush, because I'm going to bring this side up just a little bit. Yeah, there's some left. Glitter work takes time. So fun. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my first brush and I'm going to use it on the side just to clean up the stray glitter that's kind of gone wherever it wants. Get out the chunks. I still feel like I want more on the side, but I don't know if at this point it's going to do any good. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take just a powder brush and sweep away my fallout. Despite what you might think, you almost never get all the glitter out. Just most of it. I wore a powder foundation today because I knew I was working with glitter, and I find that the glitter doesn't stick as much to a powder foundation as it does a liquid. So that's what I did. Okay, let's get all this glitter out of the way. I'm pretty happy with it. So we're going to take our pink eyeshadow and just go over the edges just a little bit to kind of get them meet. Be very gentle because the glitter might fall, and it's not going to be a perfect blend like if you used a shimmer, because it is a glitter and it does have texture and there is glue. So you're just going to work it kind of just gently around. You see, I got some in the glue here, so I've got a patchy spot. Roar. It's alright. We'll just keep building up the color around it. And it really doesn't bother me, so it's kind of whatever matters to you. What we could do is go in later with a denser brush and really intensify that corner, but like I said, it doesn't bother me, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm just going to be a little more careful about not placing it over glue on this side. I'm just going to take my flat packer brush and just kind of pack in a little more pink just on that corner, just to kind of distract away. Remember, neons are going to be patchy, so you're going to have to finagle and just be patient and just work with it. That's a little better. Not perfect, but it's better. So now we're going to make the other side match. Doesn't start to fall. Okay. Just going to blend that edge right there one last time from where we put in the more pigment, so it kind of flows better. And now we're going to do one last blend on the top, and then we're going to move on to the lower lashes. So we're not going to put glitter on the lower lash unless you want to, and then you totally can. Okay, so I'm going to finish letting the glitter dry before I try and put eyeliner on top of it, because it's already hard to put liner on top of glitter, but if all your glue and stuff isn't dry, it's just not going to work for you. So we're going to grab our little pencil brush, and we're just going to smoke out, so to speak, that lower lash line. And I'm just going to drag the pink all the way. I'm going to start at the outer corner and work my way in, because I like more color on the outer side than what's coming in. We're just going to gently start packing it on. Staying as close to your lash line as you want. If you want to bring it down further, that's totally okay. It's just not what I generally love to do because I'm a little bit older. It just settles into my under eye lines. We're not going to talk about it. You do want to try and connect the bottom to the top kind of in the same line, so it keeps that nice lift. And I like to just take whatever's left, add it to that inner corner just to help it blend. So that's one side. You guys, we're still using the leftovers in the lid from one dip in and what we started off on the top with. So that's a lot of color on the lid for not having to tap in. So we're going to do the same thing on the other eye. Start at the outer corner. So now if you wanted to, you could take a clean flat brush, fluffy brush like I have here on the other end of mine, and blend that bottom edge out. I don't always do it, but we will today. The name of this game is don't stab yourself in the eye and get glitter on your contacts. So that's pretty much all I'm going to do with my lower lash line. I'm going to move this pink pigment out of the way so I don't knock it over. Close this glitter glue too. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put on some black liner. I am not about to be trying to put a wing on for YouTube because I know I will mess it up. So I'm just going to do like a little black line. I'm also not a false lash kind of girl, so I'm not going to put those on. But you could do a wing and a big lash if that's your jam. You go ahead and do that. You do whatever makes you happy. I'm just going to try and do like a little line and put on some mascara. So I'll start with the one I finished first. So like I said, putting liner over glitter is a little difficult. I'm using the NYX Epic Ink liner, in case you were wondering, but any black eyeliner that you like and are very familiar with will work. just like that. Now I'm going to do my mascara. I'm using the Essence Lash Princess. I really like this. So we're going to be very careful because this is not a look that's going to be easy if you get mascara marks on, to just take a spoolie and let it dry and wipe it off, because it's going to pull the glitter off. So we're just going to be nice and careful. Okay. If you like lower lash mascara, go ahead and pop it on. I don't, because my lower lashes are really long and I just don't like the way it looks, so I don't do it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is some very pink, very 80s blush and highlighter, because that's what I need in my life today, so that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to use the same pigment and a big blush brush. So I'm going to get this fluffy brush, and I'm going to start by just cleaning up the inside of my lid and using what's in there so I can add a little more. So you can do your blush however you want for this look. I just want something big and 80s and bright. I love blush. I like bright colored blush, and this is a fun look. So that's what I'm going to do. You do whatever's going to work for you. So I don't put blush right here. I'm more of a back of the face kind of girl. So I'm going to start back here. And I'm going to bring it really high up and bring it down and around, because that's what I like. I'm trying to use my monitor so you can see what I'm doing. And then we're going to go over with a powder brush if we have any edges that we want to blend out. So I'm going to tap a little more, just a little at a time, into my cap. See that? I'm trying to spread it out so we don't pick it all up in one spot on the brush. Press it into the brush, and I'm going to keep working on this side. I think I want a little more. So I think I'm going to concentrate this a little more, and I'll bring it down as far. Really work like on a drape, because I really like it, and I think it's really fun with this look. I love that it shows up so much more like corally orange on my monitor than in real life. So now we're going to kind of just blend them together. Okay. So I'm going to take my same powder brush that we used for sweeping under the eyes, and I'm going to go around the edges. Just kind of blend those edges together so it's not quite as harsh. Not quite so 80s. I'm just going to gently, again, this is one of the things I like using a powder foundation for looks like these. Again, I just feel like everything blends better on top of a powder foundation because there's no wetness, there's no tack to it, it's just like blending on top of a powder. So that's why I chose to do that with this look instead of a liquid foundation. You can do whatever you want. If your blending skills are better, you go ahead and put on whatever. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. So starting back of the face, up the temple to the hairline. I'm going to do 2 layers. So bring it down a little bit. Okay. Blend out that edge a little bit. Okay, so we're going to pick up a little more and concentrate it more in the center and then blend them together. So we're going to stay more in the middle and not drag it down so far just yet until we get our color placed, and then we'll drag it all down and blend together with what's left in the brush. So I'll turn a little more so you can see. So now we're going to start blending it all out together. Yes, very 80s, and I am here for it. So I'm not putting blush in the center of my face. It's just how I like to do it. I'm very happy. Now I'm personally me, I'm going to take what's left of my brush and do the end of my nose. Just a little. Didn't add any more color. Highlighter on my cheeks here. And I'm going to use Pink Heart, this one right here, from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild palette. You can use any pink highlighter that you want, but this is one of my favorites, so that's what I'm going to use. And I'm going to put some on a brush like this, and there's no mirror in there. I'm going to go the same, just over the high point. I do the same thing. I don't pull my highlighter real far in. But you can put your highlighter wherever you like. And do the other side. Okay. I'm going to do just a little on my nose. And then I'm going to take this really fine point pencil brush. I'm going to pick up that same highlighter. I'm going to do just a little at the brow bone. And I'm going to go all the way across, just so we end with a nice shimmery pink at the top of this look. I'm going to do it on both sides. And we'll put some in the inner corner, why not? Careful not to disturb the glitter. I don't want to go too intense with my highlighter since we're very intense in the pink here. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with that. So the last thing I'm going to do, first I'm going to close up this pigment, try and do it without spilling, because we're done with that. So the last thing we're going to do is lips. And I was going to do a matte lip, but maybe I'll just do like a really pink gloss. It's not quite hot pink. Could do this color. Let's do this. So we're going to have to be careful because it's a lipstick and I don't have a lip liner that's going to match. So we're just going to be very careful and do our lips. Yeah. It's not quite as bright as I wanted, but it's good enough. So I think that's it. I really like it. I can't wait till my husband comes home and sees it. He knew kind of what I was going to do today, but not really. So here we are. Our very bright neon pink monochromatic 80s inspired kind of look. I really like it. It was really fun to do. I like getting to just sit down and do something fun and creative every now and again. I know my camera's in the wrong spot. Everything seems to be a little bit off, and I'm sorry about that. But when I'm filming by myself, I do the best I can. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this makeup look. What is your favorite neon color? I have a bunch of them. I would love to do other neon inspired looks for you. I like doing something a little different. I'm not always, you know, nude. I don't like standard makeup. I wear it like when I have to go to work and stuff like that, but something more colorful and way more fun, or like on the other end of the spectrum, very goth, dark, spooky, is very much my jam. So if you want to see anything like that, post in the comments below, let me know. I would love to do that for you. I love to film makeup videos. They make me really happy. I am not a beauty guru. I just like to do makeup. My makeup's not going to be perfect, and that's okay, because the average person, you're not going to like just pop it on and it's going to be perfect all the time anyway. So I just like to sit down and do my makeup with you. I hope you enjoy watching it. If you do, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on my next video.